Hello guys, Tom Yone here from Tech with Tom. Welcome to my step-by-step guide for Django Python web framework. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to set up your Django project, how to set up a virtual environment to install your Django project, how to install Django, how to configure your Django project directory, how to build a website with Django. Alright guys, like I said, I'll be showing you a step-by-step guide to setting up Django on your computer. And since Django is a cross-platform web framework, the process is virtually the same for all projects. In this channel, I'll be giving you tips and tricks on Django web framework and other web frameworks. Okay, so to never miss any of my tutorial, kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also leave your comment at the comment section and suggestion also. I would truly appreciate. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Django is actually a high-level, full-stack, open-source web framework written in Python. It encourages rapid web development. It's clean. It permits pragmatic design. Okay, so with Django, you can build fantastic websites in a very short time because the major things have been taken care of by Django. The hard work has been taken care of by Django. Django is actually made for perfectionists that have deadlines to meet. The first thing we're going to need is make sure your Python is installed on your computer. Okay, and I believe you already have little knowledge of Python because Django is actually a Python web framework. Okay, so but if you don't have Python, you can download Python. You go to Google and search for Python. Okay, the first results on your search, that will take you to python.org, the website. So go to downloads, and download the latest version. Of course, as of today, the latest version is 3.8.2. Okay, download it and install it on your computer. And while installing, make sure you tick the add Python to path to add it to your environment variables on your computer. All right, so the next thing we're going to need is our terminal, and we're going to be using Git Bash. Git Bash is very good because when we'll be discussing version control, Git Bash is a very nice terminal. Okay, so you can get Git Bash, type Git Bash. Okay, just search it on Google. The first, you click on the first link, the first result. You can, if you're on Windows, you download the one for Windows. If you're on Mac, you get the one for Mac. I've already downloaded this and installed on my computer. The last thing we're going to need for this tutorial is going to be our text editor. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be using Sublime Text. There are a lot of other text editor you can use, but Sublime Text I think is fantastic. It's good. I love it. So you can search for Sublime Text. They have free version, though they'll keep reminding you of you have to purchase, but it's good. It's beautiful. So you get you have money, of course. You buy the license version. Is good. By the time you start building website and start making money from it, it's good. You pay for it. Okay, so you download your Sublime Text from here. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing you do after everything has been set up is you open your terminal. I Git Bash here. That's my terminal. After opening our terminal is to make a directory that will hold all of our Django projects and our apps, and also in that directory we'll be creating our virtual environment. So to make a directory, I'll type mkdir, then I want to create the directory in my C drive, so I'll type /C in between, then the name of the directory, I'll call it Django sites, hit enter. Alright, I will cd into this directory, the name of the directory we created, Django sites. Alright, currently you see the master has been turned off, so we are now in this directory. All right, if you ls, you see the directory is empty. All right, the next thing we're going to do is to install or create our virtual environment. So to create a virtual environment, you type Python -m VENV, then the name of the virtual environment, I'll call it VE, or wait for the virtual environment to be created. Alternatively, you can type Python -m virtual env, then the name of the virtual environment. Either way, you're going to create a virtual environment. So I'll wait for the virtual environment to be created. Okay, it has been created. I'll ls to see. You see that the virtual environment is actually created and it's in our directory. So I'll activate the virtual environment. To activate the virtual environment, I'll type source, the name of the virtual environment, which is VE/scripts. This script can be found in the virtual environment folder, and then I'll type activate. Alright, so if I hit enter severally, you can see that the virtual environment has been activated. So I'll clear the screen. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is to install Django. So to install Django, we are going to pip install Django, pip install Django. We'll wait for our Django to be installed. Successfully installed. See everything installed. The Django version is version 3.0.5. Alright, Django has been installed. So clear the screen. Let's pip freeze to check everything installed. Alright. The next thing we're going to do is to start our Django project. Okay, to start a Django project, we say Django admin start project. Then the name of the project, we're going to call it MYSITE. MYSITE. Alright, so if you ls, you see now we have MYSITE and the virtual environment. So the next thing you're going to do is to cd into the MYSITE that we just created, cd MYSITE. Alright, so if you ls, you see the tools that we'll be using to run us to execute every other thing we want to do. Okay, in this step, we are going to test our server to see if the project was installed correctly and if everything is working. So to run the Django server in our terminal, let's type Python manage.py run server, the manage.py that was installed with the project, the one we saw in our project folder. Okay, now let's go to our browser. In our browser, the server is being run on our local server, which is 127.0.0.1. Then colon the port that Django is using is 8000. Alright, boom, is working. Everything is working now. When you see this, you know that Django has been installed correctly on your computer. So let's head back to our terminal, and to break out of the server, you press Ctrl+C. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is to create a migration. So to migrate, we'll type Python manage.py migrate. Okay, so you see all this permission, all the Django auth, Django admin, Django content types, So these are our migration. So the next thing we're going to do is to create a Django app. So to create a Django app, what we're going to do is to type Python manage.py start app. I will give the name of our app. Let's call it web. Okay, so we've created the app. The next thing we're going to do is to go to our text editor. So open Sublime Text and navigate to the folder in your C drive where you have your projects directory, Django site. Click on this, my sites, and open. Okay, so this is, you see the directory order. This is the folder, the directory that houses our projects and our app. Okay, so now we've created our project and our app. The next thing we're going to do is to add the app we created to our settings. So you go to settings. I'm going to delete all this. Under the installed apps, we will add the app we just created, which is web. Ctrl S to save. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is to set up our URLs. All right. So to set up our URLs, I'll go to the project where we can see that the project, the order, you see all the files that are in there, the one for our server, setting our URLs. Click on the URLS.PY in our project. So click on the URL.py in our project. I'm going to delete all this, the comments. Okay, then I'll copy everything here, Ctrl C. I'll come to the web, right click on it. I'll create a new file and I will, I'm creating this new file inside the web directory, that is our app directory, and I'll call it, I'll paste what I copy from there. I will save it as URLS.py, URLS.py. So this URL is the one that will control all our URLs to all our pages on our website. Okay, then I will not need this. I will delete this. I'll remove that one. I'll leave only the part. I'll also remove this because we've not created our views. So I'll Ctrl S to save and also save this. The next thing we're going to do is to create I'll close this. We'll create a template folder to hold all our web pages. So inside our app directory, I'll right click, I'll create a folder, I'll call it templates. So the next thing I'm going to do, inside the template, I'll just create a file. This is going to be our landing page. I'll save it as index.html. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is to build our view. So the views in our app directory, click on it. This is where we'll build all our views. Okay, so I'll be building a function view. So I'll just say index, then we'll use the request. We have a request and a response. So I'll return render. You type this, and I'll type a request, the name of our template, which is going to be index.html, comma, and our context. So I'll control save. The URL. The next thing is to go back to the URL. We're going to import our views from the app. Imports our views. Alright, so in here, the path to our view, we'll leave it empty because that's where I want to be our landing page. Our views.index, comma, the name of the template, equal to, we'll call it index. Control X, put a comma here at the end. Control X. We're going to configure our project's URLS.PY. Go back to project URLS.PY, and from the Django URLs, we're going to import or include, and inside our URL patterns, we will add a path to our app URLs. So leave it empty, include our app name as a string, app.urls. And put a comma here, Control S to save. So basically we've done everything. What we need to do now is to build the template. So I'll go to my browser. I'll go to Google, and I'll be using Bootstrap 4 for the template. Get Bootstrap. Get started. Alright, I'll scroll down here. I'll copy this starter template. So copy it. I'll go back to my text editor, and inside my index.html, I'll paste everything there. Control S to save, and we'll just leave everything like this. Okay, so if we go back to in this tutorial, we are not talking about models. Okay, in subsequent tutorial, I'll show you how to build your models in your database and how to configure your static files. But in this particular tutorial, it's just going to be setting up your project. So go back to your terminal and run the server Python manage.py, run server. Alright, so if we go back to our web browser and a new tab, you see hello world. So basically that's all you need to do to set up your project. Okay guys, just a quick overview of everything we've done so far. So we started by making sure that Python is already installed on our computer, and we installed a git bash as a terminal we used, and we also installed our text editor. Sublime Text was what we used. We used Google Chrome for our testing. So we started by opening our git bash terminal and creating a folder in our C drive to hold all our Django files, the project files. Then after that, we created a visual environment. We cd into that project file we created, a folder we created. We created a visual environment and activated it. And after activating our virtual environment, we installed Django in the virtual environment we created. After installing Django, we created the project, and the project we named it MYSITE. We named it MYSITE. And after creating the project, we created a project with in the terminal with Django-admin start project, then the project name MYSITE. And after creating the project, the next thing we did was we cd into the MYSITE, the project's directory, and inside the project directory, what we did was we did a migration for the project, okay, and we checked our project on our browser. After running the server, we ran the server with Python manage.py, which is the powerful tool that was installed with the project, and run server, and we ran it on our local server using port 8000. That's the port that Django is using. So after that, we started our app, and we created this app called Web. And after creating the app, we added the app to our setting. In the app installed app section of our setting, the name of the app is Web. We put a comma at the end of the string. Okay, so after adding this app, the next thing we did was we configured our URLs. We created a new URL file in our app directory, a Python file called URLS.PY. Then we copied all the properties, all the things that were in the URL project URLS.PY, and pasted them in our app URL. So from Django.urls, we imported the path. The path function is actually a function, and of course we also imported all our views. We imported all our views from the app. Okay, the view was actually installed and added by Django while we started the app. We created the app. Okay, so the next thing we did was to build a function, a view function using index, and it took one parameter, and the parameter was request. So we return a render. The render function takes three parameters: the request, the template name, and our context variables. Okay, so now we don't have any context because we are not dealing with database. So in subsequent tutorial, we'll be talking about database. So after we did this, we created a new folder called templates in our app directory to hold all our templates, or our HTML templates, and the things that will be shown on our website. And we created a new file called our index.html. Okay, so this is where you build all your HTML file, how you want your website to look like. And we had this of course, the title, the body, hello world. Okay, so after that, we added the URL to this index to the URL patterns in our app URL. So with the path function, the path function takes three parameters, though the name is optional. The first parameter, we left it empty because we want that to be our landing page. The second parameter is the views.index and name. Okay, so this is actually how the fundamental setup for all Django projects. So if whether you're building a big project or a small project, you do the same thing. So I actually made this tutorial to be a guide, a step-by-step guide to guide you as you're learning Django for the first time. You may find it difficult to be able to follow this step. So, but with this guide, you can actually, with practice, master it. Okay, so the difficult things, like I said, is being taken care of by Django. And what we've done so far, like Django basically is about the model, the view, and the template. So in subsequent tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to set up your database, run your migrations, and have a full stack website with both back end and front end configured. So, but we'll be talking more about Django in this channel. So for you to stay up to date and follow along with the trend of things, stay subscribed to the channel and like the video. Leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next tutorial.